I'd like to go through the fifth offensive drive by the Ravens and to identify the formations, but perhaps the way a defensive coordinator would identify them. I'm not a defensive coordinator. One thing about the terminology is some of this stuff is universal and some of it is precious and sort of specific. The way that I've learned it doesn't mean it's the best way. There's all kinds of different ways to refer to things, but that's how I'm looking at this, the way a defensive coordinator might in terms of what the Ravens are doing, play call and alignment. The first play, 1st and 10, 21 personnel, gun split pro. This is outside zone read. We see Duvernay across the formation. He was the number one receiver outside. Pre-snap, he is going to shift. I'm going to differentiate shift and motion if I were a coordinator. The shift is when the receiver moves from one spot to another and then settles, as you see here. This is a called outside zone play where Duvernay's given the ball. Looks like Lamar might be reading to this side. Oliver has a little bit of a time wide. Certainly Fa'alele is being asked to do a lot here in reaching that 5 technique. Doesn't appear that he's trying to reach him as much as he is trying to get his hands inside and drive or hold him from getting outside. No one really grabs the Mike backer. I wonder about Linderbaum being asked to do that instead of get the backside linebacker here along with Moses. I'm not sure about that. The other thing is you can see Pat Ricard out front reading. He's not too worried about that Mike. Gets on Oliver's guy, drives. Oliver then comes off and then picks up a second level player. But it's ultimately Fa'alele not quite getting this block. But I think the Patriots play it pretty well generally. Second play after a loss of 4 on first down. The Ravens are in 10 personnel, 1 running back, no tight ends. We would call this formation gun near, which is to say strong side, near meaning strong side. There are other ways of referring to that. The back determines the strength in this double set, which is a 2x2 set. Let it run from here. This is bash counter. I'm struck by how well Lamar is running the football. That may seem an obvious thing. You see the kick out block being made by Zeitler, the right guard, and him following initially. Right here, that's the hole, that's the design look. But he bends that outside of Zeitler. It's interesting, he reads, not that there's not a hole here, but there's not a blocker, does Lamar. Watch him bend that out, then he follows the block. And then he gets down. He's not into taking big hits. I would say he's a much more careful runner in that way. Very deliberate, which is not to be confused with slow. I think he's reading very well as a runner. It's first down after the Lamar run. Let's call this 11 gun near slot twins. 2 receivers to the side, Mark Andrews in the slot. Once again, we'll use the running back to determine our strength or our strength call. Can't help but notice how much they move Pat Ricard around pre-snap, how much they shift and motion Pat. Pat starts off just off the ball here and then shifts and settles as the sniffer. Ravens are in 22 personnel, pretty close to what you might call flanker. If both the backs are split here behind Lamar, I might call it that. Keep things simple. Right now, I'm going to refer to this as dot near or strong. This time, if I'm on the defense, I'm looking at Pat as what identifies strength to me. This is a pass play. Obviously, they use Pat coming across the formation to help out on the edge. Oliver's going to step inside along with the rest of the offensive line. Pat is going to come across the formation post-snap. There's a fake give or play-action give to Justice Hill. Pat's going to get the edge. Right away, Lamar sees that the right tackle's been beaten. There's some protection breakdown on the left tackles or left guard side as well here. Pat gets run through a little bit. You can actually see Moses gets hurt on this play. He's kind of hopping around. Oliver's going to leak out. If we look at it from above, let's look at what the receivers are doing on this. Bateman just trips over his own feet. Looks like he's running a post there. An out, and then a swing to Justice Hill. He's looking to that side. Looks like he's got Hill here. You can see Marks being doubled, or could have him. The protection breaks down a little bit, and the quarterback makes a really nice, kind of effortless throw to Oliver for a pretty good gain. This could have been a nice setup for a screen to get Moses out in front. You can see he's hobbled there though. This is a play where he gets injured. Ravens are in 11 personnel, Y off, gun near. Number 2 from the weak side is going to jet motion. Very effective play fake here in the backfield. How long the quarterback holds this football and reads as he shuffles with this jet motion, reads the defenders, reads his blocks. You see the defender that started running with Duvernay sell out, apparently does not see that Lamar has the football here. You'll see throughout this game that the Ravens did a good job clearing space, middle of the field, second level, either through shifts, motions, route combinations. Lamar cuts this back very patiently. And then again, not in a hurry to take on any kind of contact. Real good ball skills in the backfield. You see Powers pulling. Once again, we get a look at how often the Ravens motion or shift Pat Ricard. I'll call this 21 personnel pistol, far motion slot trips. We'll get a look at what makes J.K. superior as a back to the other backs on the team, the guys they brought in. His vision, you can see Fa'alele is beaten here. J.K. reads that instantly. You get the kick out block by Zeitler, and Pat is going to go up and grab this Mike backer, but Real instantly reads that good lateral movement, and then this is that sort of trademark spin move. You get 3 yards, I think, here out of JK, where another back a week ago on the Ravens would have been stopped for a loss.